Good afternoon, YouTube. Or good morning, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. So, welcome back. It's been a little while since I've recorded a video, and to be honest, for good reason. Things have been a little bit of a shit show. I'll get into that. But I'm back because I'm bringing to you a mini cut series. I am ready because of obviously the fact that I'm showing up and other life circumstances which have calmed down a little bit, to kind of get a little bit more regular with creating some YouTube content, and also might get a few helping hands in along the way over the next couple of months. But basically, I spent a year building muscle, obviously to move up from the bikini to the figure category, and I couldn't eat any more food. It got to that stage, appetite was fucking shot, completely just nauseous eating my meals. I'm the heaviest weight that I have been since I started my fitness journey, like since I started going to the gym. So like, improvement season, completed it, mate. So it's time to pull back a little bit. It's time to wash off some of this body fat, resensitize appetite, and just see a little bit of what we built. And there's also actually another reason why this mini cut has been aptly timed for something that's happening later on in the year, but I'm going to talk about that when we come to it. I don't want to overload you all, considering that I've been away for a little while, and it might be helpful if I just kind of kick off and talk about that, because it has played like quite a big role into, I suppose, what you're going to see over the next few vlogs, and also why I've been away. I think the last time that I filmed a YouTube video was the apartment tour, and actually I will give you an updated one because I've recently bought some new bits that I want to kind of show you, so I'll show you that later. But yeah, I thought it'd be helpful for me to just kind of talk about the fact that I hadn't recorded anything since then. So early May, moved into our apartment in Dubai, and then what happened 4 weeks later, whilst we were kind of getting settled, was Nathan, my boyfriend, basically had a full knee replacement. And the reason why, I won't bore you with the long version of the story, although it's not boring, it's actually fucking wild, but he essentially got an injury and an infection in his knee when he was younger, which wore away the knee. He's damaged, you know, the tendons, and basically his knee just wasn't working at all. Like, he couldn't walk more than 2,000 to 3,000 steps earlier this year when we were traveling around Mexico without being in excruciating pain for the whole night and just not being able to sleep. And I said to him, I was like, dude, this is no way to live. Like, you need to seriously consider getting this sorted. So we went to a doctor. Doctor said that they would do him a knee replacement and that it would last much longer for him. So we were like, okay, sound, he's gonna get his knee replaced and things are gonna be absolutely fine and dandy. He'll be able to walk anywhere, be active, train legs, yada yada yada. But that bubble got burst pretty quickly.
Emotional damage.
Because essentially Nathan has been in excruciating pain for the last 8 weeks since his knee replacement. First 2 weeks, obviously, I was running my business, looking after him in and out of hospital, making him food, giving him medication, all of that good stuff, because he really needed someone to look after him, and that was cool. But what was not cool was the fact that with the more physio work he did to get his knee operative, the more pain he was in. Like, really, really bad pain. Like, times where he would sometimes be sat on the sofa just bawling his eyes out in excruciating pain. Sleepless nights, constantly just up and down and tossing and turning, and you know, obviously I'm worried, so it's kind of affecting my sleep and stuff. So the last 2 months have really just been trying to grit our teeth and get through it. So I've been just trying to look after my clients, look after Nathan, and I haven't had the time or the energy or the mental capacity, to be quite honest, to film any YouTube content or to do any podcasting or anything else. Like, it's been really fucking tough, and I'm saying that from my perspective, right? I'm not the one that's been going through the excruciating pain. Long story short, we found out a week or so ago, Nathan has 3 really big calf tears in his calf muscle. So all of the exercises he was doing for his physio have been aggravating the calf injury. So it's just been making it worse over time what he was doing for the knee replacement. And also he's got 2 big cysts behind his knee, which he's currently getting drained. At least I hope so, because that's what his appointment is meant to be today. So like, the dude's been in fucking pain, and it's really hard to see a partner or a loved one just in a really, really shit fucking place. And it had taken its toll on me quite significantly. as well as having to do everything else I need to do day to day as a coach, as a business owner. So I would just spend the last 2 months, to be honest, going through the motions. Like, I've been training, I've been, you know, eating all of my improvement season food, but I've not been feeling good in myself at all, if I'm quite honest. And now I feel better. I've got a new focus with the mini cut. Nathan's getting better. And also there's some changes coming for business in the next month for Team CBM, as well as in September I'm going back to the UK. So like and that's not permanently, it's just for a little while, but just going back to kind of see my team and my family. So I'm feeling a bit more upbeat now, which is why I picked up the camera and giving you this long spiel of like 6 minutes. So I had actually anticipated to start this video on Wednesday, where I filmed my check-in, and I was going to kind of film Soph's feedback from my check-in, because there's a few things at the moment that we're having to work around, which I will also get into, but I did go and get a good pull session in, so I'll insert that now. And with regard to the changes that Soph made, or that are coming up over this next week, I will update on, but I will update on those as soon as I have gone to see my physio, because yes, there's other hiccups and bumps in the road. So I'm going to a physio appointment now, and then when I come back, I'll give a bit of a roundup of what the game plan for me is for this next week, just because actually the physio's input is going to be a very, very important one. So I will catch you guys once I have been to the clinic. Okay, so you know how I was saying that he's constantly in pain? Nathan. Nathan, darling. It's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You like some lunch?
Cream or ass.
You want some cream or ass?
Fucking cream or ass.
You tell the vlog what they did to your leg today at the physio appointment.
Injected it.
They can't hear you.
They injected it at the back of my knee.
They shoved a big needle in the back of your knee. So now you see what I've dealt with for the last 8 weeks. We're both back from the physio for different things. We're turning into absolute cripples. It's time to make some lunch, and then I will update in terms of what the physio has said and how this next week is going to look for me, and what my current protocols are. Best part of the day, isn't it? So, I've just had lunch and I've tidied the gaff a little bit so that I can show you all of the new bits I bought. But first I want to run through why I went to the physio. So, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. This like right side of my body absolutely seized up. Like my shoulder, my back, my pec just literally felt so tight and so uncomfortable, and it's because I have like an underlying rotator cuff injury from years and years ago when I first started powerlifting. I didn't know how to bench press, and yes, I still have a niggle a very, very long time after that, so basically just make sure that you're always reviewing your form. I had been pushing towards the end of my last training block, and I noticed it felt a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm like, a few days rest, sure, whatever, and I kept pushing, and I kept pushing, and I kept progressively overloading, and then basically my rotator cuff was so irritated because it's quite weak, and then I had a little bit of tendonitis in that area, and all my stabilizer muscles took over, and they didn't want to take over that amount of load that I was pressing, and so they seized up. So I went and saw my physio. She was like, do not train delts for the next like 10 days until I see you again. So I've been doing a rotation of legs, rest, but my rest days I have cardio on them. So legs, just cardio, pull, just cardio, my other leg session, because I've got 2 different leg sessions and I've got 1 pull session. So that's what I've been doing. But hilariously, like 2 to 3 days after I went and saw the physio, I went back in to do a leg session, and I'd taken like 3 days off from training because this right side of my body was so uncomfortable, even for lower body, it was impacting it. And I don't think I warmed up properly, and I went in for my RDLs and I tweaked something in my back, and immediately I was like, okay, that does not feel good. So I didn't push on. So I've just gone to go and see her. And I was like, hi, I've got another injury for you. Good news, my rotator cuff is getting stronger, but maybe still can't load it for like another week or 2, just to kind of be careful and make sure that it's back to full health, and then just keep doing strengthening exercises over time. And as for this back thing, it's like a sharp shooting pain in my glute, and it really hurts. Like when I'm sitting down, that's when it's the worst. Like it really, really hurts when I'm sitting down. So I've been standing up, like doing all of my check-ins at a standing desk. I'm averaging like easily like 15, 16K steps per day, like unintentionally, because of the amount that I'm walking. And she's basically just said it's the fact that I've got weak hip flexors, along with having injured my QL and just kind of pulled a few things which all insert in the same place, and it's just one kind of like seized up to protect itself, but 2, whatever I've pulled, it could be like a little muscle pull. So basically I've just got to stretch and wait for it to go away, but the reason why it hurts so much when I'm sitting down is because I'm compressing more onto it. So yeah, basically I was explaining all of my injuries to Soph in my check-in on Wednesday, and she was like, Mills, take a deload week. Just take a week off from the gym. So it's only week 2 into the mini cut, and we are taking a deload, but it's probably about time. I've been on my last training block for around 6 or 7 weeks. So what does a deload look like when you're on a mini cut? Well, it's 2 days on doing cardio, 1 day off, 2 days back on, and rest day food for the whole time. Rest day food is, at the moment, I am on 300 grams of carbs, 120 grams of protein, and 50 grams of fat. So 2,130 calories. Sounds like a lot, right? But think about how much fucking food I was plowing in before she dropped my food by like 500, 600 calories in each day. So yeah, we were pushing the 3,000 calorie mark, which is significantly more than I've ever actively tried to eat in the past. So therefore, hopefully we'll see a good amount of body weight come off on higher calories, but I don't know, my body, I always find it very slow to respond. I find it takes like 3 weeks until I start to see some like tangible results, at least reflecting on the scale. In the first week, my body composition totally different. Three people told me that my face apparently looked less round, but scale weight hasn't changed. But photos, in my opinion, look much different, and my clothes are fitting me much better. So like, I'm genuinely just glad not to be feeling sick constantly and to have actually realised what hunger feels like again. So basically, we've just got a week of rest, cardio, and rest day food, and I feel hungry. Don't get me wrong, like I do feel hungry. I'm pathetic when it comes to the first couple of weeks going into a dieting phase. It's when the hunger is probably the most significant for me. And then after that, I normalise to it until it's like where you're like six weeks out from a show, and then it just starts to get excruciatingly unbearable, but you've got to live with it because that's your choice if you want to get on a stage and be shredded. So yeah, I'll update you guys next week in terms of if we start to see the scale shift, if I notice any significant composition changes in my body, but mainly I'm just wanting to get back to a good position where I can train, get back training properly, because right now it's not fun to feel so restricted in terms of what I can do, because I adore training. So I won't leave you in suspense any longer. Let me show you all the goodies that I bought. Okay, so since the last apartment tour, There is now only half the sofa compared to last time. Reason being is because it's the comfiest place for Nathan to sleep, because it's way softer than the mattress, so we've moved half the sofa into the bedroom, believe it or not, so that he can sleep more carefully. Then we got these chairs and this really funky table. I really like it because the base is like this golden big block. And I just think we've got a really nice like white and gold vibe going on in here. And let me just say now, absolutely everything that you are seeing right now was chosen by me, because Nath has no interior design bone in his body, but to be fair, neither do I. So if anyone can help me out as to how I can make this place look better, then do let me know. Onto the balcony though, this is a good bit. So we have an egg chair. I've always wanted one of these, so like getting one of these was an absolute non-negotiable. So a cute little egg chair. We also got this nice little dining set where you can just sit outside and chill, and it's actually a really comfy sofa. Overall though, it's definitely starting to look more homely, so we are getting there. Now onto the spare bedroom / the study. As this room is the smallest one in the house, I definitely knew we needed something to make it feel a little bit bigger. So I bought this cutesy gold mirror, which also matches the exact same colour on the bed sheets, which I didn't even intend. And then I got a nice little kind of carpet. I want to get like a cute lamp, similar to where the ring light is, but I want like a nice kind of floor lamp to make it feel a little bit more homely. And then maybe put some bits on the wall. It's a bit of a difficult room to kit out because it's both like a mixed, it's like a study, but also because it's a dual use room, I've got to like kit it out in the best way that I can so that we get the best of both worlds. Okay, I've just gone into the bedroom, but Nathan is asleep in there. We both did not have a good sleep last night. His knee was causing him a lot of pain, so I'm gonna leave him alone. But basically the only change in there is that we're gonna have some really nice curtains. They're still to be put up, to be fair, so there's not much to show you. But yeah, getting there slowly but surely. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Like, there's not a huge amount more for me to tell you. Just saying hello, I'm back, you will see more of me, and I will be giving some more kind of like what I eat in the day, my training, just showing off a little bit more of my lifestyle now, fully settled in Dubai, and just really into my groove of things. So thank you so much for joining. Much love to those of you who are watching the first one back. Please give it a like, I would appreciate it a huge amount. I will catch you guys in the next one. Sending all of the love to you.